And welcome back to Icarus, week 118 patch notes discussion. I'm gonna do it with Carl today because Echo couldn't make it, so I'm gonna switch over to Discord now. Hey Carl, how you doing?
Right. Good and you?
Not bad at all.
Good.
And as usual, I forgot to put my phone on silent.
It's
Anyway,
okay.
this week, week 118 of the patches.
hmm
So let's see, what do we have today? Improvements and balances to resource network. The resource networks introduced in last week's patch.
Yeah.
We have some fixes and balances for the new resource network update. And also, something you've been talking about, new fluctuations based on weather and storm patterns.
Sounds fair.
So, welcome to week 118. We are continuing our work on the resource network update from last week, with a bunch of fixes and balances added, along with a few new features that we mentioned were going to be in this week's update. We've also got some info on next week's update and some mission fixes that were needed to address the impacts of the new resource network. So let's hop in and have a read, shall we? We have a couple of notable improvements. There is now a total growth speed indicator added to the crop plot inspection UI.
Hmm.
Uh, Especially handy after they added the whole plant fatigue. Now we can finally see how bad is it.
So, I mean, like, wasn't there like a no. We were only able to see the bonuses, not actually the growth speed being achieved, right? Because there was like when you hovered over it, you could see which character planted things by the number of bonuses being received. So not the
Exactly.
actual speed. Is it like a 1 to 10 scale? I mean, we'll obviously have to
I
see.
have no idea. I haven't played
It'll
yet
be
today,
interesting.
so
I wonder
yeah,
if
you.
it'll be like a speed indicator, like our movement speed, where it would be like, oh, this is 400. It doesn't really give you an idea of exactly what it means, other than the fact that higher numbers equal better. So
I,
we'll have to
I
see.
would say yeah. Like bonuses added by
Yeah,
being watered, greenhouse
balance.
effect,
Exactly.
talents, bees, and
Yeah,
debuffs because of plant fatigue.
yeah, basically, which makes it interesting.
Huh. Well, I'll have to have a look
Yeah.
during subsequent gameplay. Next improvement, fixed railing orientation on all floor pieces. So now railings will be the correct orientation, especially on stairs. Never had an issue
Uh,
there, to be honest, but
yeah, railing orientation. Usually they does, huh? I don't understand an orientation on railing. Are they putting upside down? Because
I
left
have
to
no
right to left
idea.
doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. And
Uh,
that's all right.
So
Okay.
the next one I've indeed seen happening. They fixed an issue with the water troughs where the water would not appear in the mesh when it contained water. Indeed, they had
Yeah,
water but
that's
they seemed empty.
got it. Yeah.
They fixed it now, which is good.
hmm
Killer's fracture mission, they fixed the decals not removing the grass. So now those decals should be much easier to find, especially
Oh,
in
yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, yeah, I
Styx
remember.
or
Yeah, yeah.
Olympus. Yeah,
I remember, yeah, we had to search for those things, and it was like, because it was like tracking animals, wasn't it? It was like, yeah, kill list, yeah.
yeah.
We had to find the beast, and there was like, we had to like look around an area. That was already with the fact that they would place them on like semi-openish areas, but I
Yeah,
would imagine if they were covered by grass, just
that is
like,
hard to find. Yeah,
geez, I would imagine never finding that thing in a million years. You would have to literally scour each inch with like a freaking magnifying glass. That
exactly.
would have sucked. It's a big area. It's a big blob search area circle. So it's like
Yeah.
impossible to.
So
So yeah,
they fix it, so it should be easier to find now, which is good.
yeah.
They fixed processor recipe icons with. Now it is like the 7 icons across for the recipes again. Auto processors like the furnaces and then material processor, they
Mhm.
have 3 icons across still.
Okay.
Improved UI prompts and tooltips for dirt mounts, noxious crust, and red exotics, as part of the continued efforts to improve the new player experience. So
UI
basically, to
prompts.
hover over the pop-up thingy.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, to trying to.
If you have a bit of experience in playing Icarus, you know what
Yeah,
you're looking at, and you know how to
yeah.
interpret the tooltip.
Okay.
They made it a bit more clear for new players.
All right.
They updated the Olympus and the Styx weather events to use the Prometheus-style scaling weather, with more varied modifiers and less reduced movement speed.
Interesting.
So movement speed reduction in weather events is less,
Mm-mm-mm.
but they're now properly scaled like Prometheus.
Yeah. Okay. Seems fair.
And
So it's
I reckon this had to be done in order to put the new fluctuations based on weather and storm patterns in place.
could also be them just streamlining their backend, code-wise, less systems to support,
And
one uniform.
giving uniform experience
Yeah,
throughout all
exactly. Yeah,
the maps.
that's
Yeah,
that. That's correct. Yeah, but it's also just less code and less variables when dealing with different systems, because when you deploy
true.
something, you would want to support one system rather than have like legacy separate systems. So the fact that they're actually trimming off these things rather than leaving it to become pain in the backside or a feature which is lacking in certain legacy components is a good thing. So yeah.
Yep. And last, the added an inspect option to power the devices without inventories, such as solar panels, wind
Mm,
turbines, and batteries.
mm. I'm
Uh,
wondering why you would want to do that though, because if there's no like,
so
because
you
you would
can,
only use a hammer against it to repair it. That's about it.
yeah, but then you can see easier to see if the solar panel is turned off, for example, or a wind turbine.
Oh yeah, fair enough, fair enough. You
And
can turn solar panels off.
yeah, you
Okay,
you can manually
that's
turn them
called
on and
turn off the
off.
sun. Oh no, wait, that
No, no,
doesn't
no.
work.
No, you can
Yeah,
basically flip the switch and then it doesn't provide power no more.
it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't actually.
The
It's
same
still
with wind
okay.
turbines. And with the
Yeah,
batteries, it's easier to see what the charge of the battery is.
yeah. I make. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Interesting image here, by the way. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah. I
see
like the image.
which light sources they use?
I think. Well, the railing tells me it's from the purple set.
Yeah, it is the fancy set, the
Yeah, the
wall
fancy
lamps.
set. And that's what the feeling I get, but I don't think I've seen it. It could be like,
I have at
oh,
least one in my base.
oh, okay, because it
It
actually looks like a.
uh,
Hmm?
it is actually a wall-mounted lamp.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing I wanted to think because it looks like a wall-mounted thing, but
Yeah.
then it's working on upside down. I wonder if you could actually probably put it on a table. It just probably snaps onto any flat surface, which is pretty cool.
Not sure about the table, but yeah, maybe.
Well,
But
looks like
I
just wooden crates. They're just wooden
yeah,
crates. What is that?
but
Let me see.
I have to say it's a nice use of those lamps. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing because it just depends on whether or not that works. Because you would need to see during night if the plants grow slower because there's not sunlight. I don't know if that was a thing in the past. I think it was a uniformed growth rate through night and day,
It's
but I don't do farming that much
well, it
anymore.
is glass, so daylight, yes. However, not in the open air. But I think this is more for the prospectors use these lights, not for growing plants, but more you can see the plants.
You sure? Well, that's the thing. I would have liked to have had the fact that technically plants grow
Nah.
slower during the night because there's no exposure to light. Light being a cofactor of one of the stimuli for based upon what crop speeds grow at, basically.
Then you would need different lamps.
No, that's correct, but it's
Photosynthesis
just
needs UV.
I well, it's a beginning point. Okay, I know it needs the UV, but it's a concept of light, so it's a beginning step. Baby steps. Before you freaking run, you have to crawl. So
True, true.
it's one more step into the thing. So it would be interesting to see whether or not the crops do grow slower in the evenings outside or on top of your base versus if you actually put a lamp there that
Well,
burns.
since we have the growth speed in
Yeah,
the inspect
we
window
can see
now,
it. Yeah, yeah, we can. That's the thing. That's what's going to be tested because that would mean they actually implemented such a system. But they should have mentioned it by then. So I'm using your
yeah.
assumption of it just being just for display purposes in a cave is probably true, or at least pretending like it makes a difference, kind of thing. So that's
Well,
okay.
hey, at least it's easier to see the plants, especially during night.
Eh, yeah, it's called a bio lamp. So yeah.
It's called wishful thinking.
Yeah, it's called, eat carrots. If they're growing carrots, just eat the carrots. You can see at night, and then, problem solved. Issue
Eat the
fixed.
carrots, and if not, I have here a very nice stick.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, this week, resource networks update. So as mentioned last week, this week we are focusing on bug fixes, balances and improvements to the new resource network, such as fixed a case where water networks and electrical networks could be joined, leading to issues where people could fill their batteries up with water.
You're joking.
I am not joking.
That's
Last
brilliant.
week I put
What?
down a couple of battery racks
No way, yeah?
and I was like, why are they not showing up in the electricity network overview? And then they showed up in the water network overview.
Okay, so,
The fill speed was also tied to the water supply.
jeepers, that is interesting.
I
Okay.
did not try like turn off all power production whether or not it would drain electricity from those batteries, but
Do you mean water? But yes, turning
it
water
turned
directly
out
into...
I had indeed hooked them up to the water network somehow.
Interesting. Okay, well,
So no,
that's...
I'm not joking.
So,
I have it on stream.
okay, so you filled up the batteries of water. That sounds like a bad idea, but all right.
Yeah, well, it was a shocking experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, it went in happily, but it's fine until you have to plug something in. But yeah, we'll see.
Next, added ability to turn devices on and off using the resource network inspector window. To
I thought this
use,
was a
yeah,
yeah.
this was mentioned above in the notable improvements, yeah.
No, but I
Which,
thought this was already a part of the original resource system that you could turn things
no,
off
you could not.
remotely or not.
You could
Okay.
see which devices were turned on, which
Oh,
were turned
okay.
off, but you could
You
not
can't turn.
turn them off
Okay.
yet.
I thought. Okay, I must have imagined reading that somewhere.
So to use this function, expand a device group and click the connection icon to toggle the device.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll have to see whether or not power providers also can be turned on and off from the network. I don't know.
I'm assuming I haven't seen the UI of the system, but I would assume the connectors to have like a little lightning icon next to them to show that current is either flowing or not, which
You
might
should have
be.
watched my stream.
I know I should have, could have, would have, but I'm a dumbass. So what can
Yeah.
you do?
Self-knowledge is a wonderful thing, I know.
I know, true, but it's I am, but it's
Yeah.
just it depends on whether or not you're going to do anything about it. And I see that the Icarus people missed out on a very nice option, but yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay. Fix the resource network inspection window getting stuck showing gathering info on clients if it was opened twice in situations where no values on the network had changed since it was previously opened.
Okay, interesting bug though, but okay.
This was actually deployed in a hotfix last week.
Yep, makes
Now,
sense. That
I
would be
did
something
play
that would have
on
to be fixed.
I did play on dedicated server, so I was a client. I didn't actually run into this issue as far as I know.
Yeah, it's an interesting bug. So, all right.
Removed collision from the spline pucks, the little round thingies, if you put the wire down or the hose down. Fixing
Oh,
players bobbing as they walk over wires.
oh, okay. So it was like causing people to be like, as a effect when it was an object. So it would
Yeah,
sort of okay.
an object
All
with a
right.
collision box. And they removed the
Yeah.
collision box there.
Well, technically, if you were to step on it, it would either trip you over or it would adjust. So it's a piece of metal hunk on the floor. So, eh. Probably people complaining about, hey, if I walk onto a metal object which is about as tall as my foot, then my screen adjusts by about a foot. So yeah, okay, fine.
And also you run up a beam which has such a spline plug on it.
Oh, that knocks it off. Yeah, yeah. Don't
Exactly.
put this plugs on the beam. Put it on the side of it. You know, it
Yeah.
might just be a different solution, but yeah, okay.
Replace the resource network inspector summary with a visual flow indicator. This should be a bit more clear about which direction and to which devices the flow is going. No idea, I have to check. Next, we've introduced a feature where power and water output fluctuates based on the current storm.
Yes, this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is what you were talking about earlier or last week, like if there's a storm, it should generate more power or whatever.
Yeah.
So wind turbines now generate more power during most types of storms, with a maximum power output during windstorms.
Makes sense.
Now, snowstorms,
Sandstorms
Arctic,
and ash storms will slow them
sandstorms
instead.
in the desert, and ash in the volcanic biome, it was slow. Makes
That
sense.
makes sense. Yeah, it does. I mean, I would actually also make sense that all three of those would actually leave them in a slowed state until you've actually sort of cleaned them of some sort. But yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same with solar panels, technically.
a heat wave, for example, should not affect the output of a wind turbine.
Metal expanding could sort of pinch joints and stuff like that, but realistically, at like 50 degrees Celsius, I agree, it shouldn't make a big difference.
Exactly.
So yeah. Mm.
Now, when generating more than 100% of the base power level, those wind turbines will take damage over time, based on the generated power.
Mm.
But it will never go to zero. They cannot be destroyed by this damage.
But it does reduce the output, which is fair enough,
Yep,
in my
wind
sort of
turbines
analysis. But
output
yeah,
indeed is reduced based on the remaining durability. So
yes,
over
that's
time
yeah.
the power
Hmm.
output will decrease
Hmm.
to a certain point and then
Yeah,
they stay at that point.
I think that sounds actually like a fair system to the point, but it depends on how much damage they take, because in a like tier 4 windstorm, if you left the power running, uh, in my opinion, it should burn out those motors to like a third of their HP. So you would need to go, you would have to repair them afterwards. However, there should be a way to protect your wind turbines, which is the system that we were talking to each
Yeah,
other about just previously regarding having them turned off, like locking, like what wind farms do in the real world,
yeah, it would be
which is they
nice if
put
we had an
bolts
auto function
into
for
them.
that.
Well, not an auto, I would say. Yeah, maybe there would be like an advanced wind turbine, which would cost you even more resources. They wouldn't be able to do that,
A
but
tier
it would
5.
stop, which would sort of, because it does stop all electric generation, but it then would prevent itself from getting damaged. Yes, versus, either manually turning them off, which is yet again a switch, but yet again, it's still, if you could if you could centrally turn them off, um, I mean,
Uh,
manually turning them off is a different thing. You would have to run into each one. You know as well as I do. You're not going to run outside to the wind turbines in a storm
nope,
and finish turning them off. It's just you have too many.
exactly.
So it's a little bit of a thing. It could, I said, then just be yes, the higher tier one would be able to save itself. So suck it up and go repair your turbines
Well, I would
after a storm.
definitely opt for automatic shutdown and
Yeah, yeah.
resume,
No,
paired
that's the thing.
with a whole bunch of battery racks.
Yeah, true. But then in this case, it's just, it's going to generate more power. It fills up your batteries until it gives you time to go repair it after each storm. You know as well as I do, certain maps have a storm every
Well,
2 seconds. So yeah, good luck. But it
since
is only specific windstorms. Okay. If it's specifically only a windstorm, yeah, that sounds
Well,
okay.
since they only gonna be damaged to a certain point, what you also could do is just build a gazillion wind turbines and leave them all in the very badly damaged but still power producing state.
Did it say that it would not, what the minimum was going to be, where it would be
No,
damaged?
but its
Uh,
dust state cannot be destroyed by this damage.
Yes, but I could go down to like like 1 HP. So even just a bird
One one
flying into it.
kilojoule.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I mean it just depends.
or
It's some
or do it
you
the
would need to
cheesy
test
way
it.
and go to a remote location of the map where you're never gonna be traveling to, build a
Well,
massive wind farm there, because if you're not close to the object,
it's still,
it's not
yeah, I
rendered,
know.
nothing is being done to it, so it will still generate power,
Yeah.
but there will be no storms over there.
Well, do test it. Just have a couple of turbines that you're never going to touch, just to see how low their generation goes and how many storms it sort of took, if you can even keep count of that. So maybe if it's like the same durability loss during every storm, you can obviously do just a pure calculation on math. But yeah, you'll have to see if
Yeah, but
it's
then it's gonna depend on the severity of the
severity.
storm,
Yeah,
the type of
yeah,
the
that's what I'm saying.
storm,
But
etc.,
that's the thing.
etc.
That depends on how it's been calculated. So they
Yeah,
said anything above 100%. They didn't say that damage in scales. They just said it just takes damage over time.
yeah,
So it could be 101% and then it takes 50 damage, or it could be 190% and it still takes 50 damage. But that's the type of thing you're gonna have to see and test with to see.
exactly. So solar panels have been buffed to produce 6,000 power. They were
Yeah,
5,000.
yeah. This is the part where I said they missed out. They should have said 9,000 power. And true people know where the reference goes, obviously, but never mind.
Now the solar panels now generate slightly reduced power during most storm types, but they will not receive any damage from those storms. They even get an output boost during the swamp's clearing winds storms.
That's nice. How much is 6,000? What does a wind turbine produce?
Wind turbine 1750, water wheel 2500, I believe.
1750 for a wind turbine. This thing that generates 6,000. That's a big
Yeah,
difference. But it
yeah,
doesn't
I
do it
know.
during
But
the night
don't forget, wind turbines were set and
all the time.
forget
Hmm
24/7,
hmm
70, 50 power.
mm
Not sure how much generators produce though. I haven't used them for ages.
mm
Talking
That's
about
an interesting
generate,
question. Yeah, yeah.
talking about generators, they now output slightly less power in heat waves.
Oh, that makes sense.
The
Overheating. Yeah, makes
combustion
sense.
generator.
hmm hmm
So, yeah. Water wheels generate more power while it's raining, but less power during ash or snowstorms.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Water pumps and the water borers, which were introduced last week, have reduced water flow during snow and a little less during hail and heat waves.
Yeah, makes sense. Clogging up the inbound stuff with ice cubes, etc., etc. Makes sense.
So I might have to put another water pump in just to be sure, because I don't know how much reduced water flow.
hmm
Then
Yeah.
again, bases in the grasslands, so storm no, heat wave no. However, hail
Hail.
yes.
hmm
Yeah,
hmm
but I like these changes actually. It
Yeah,
makes
no,
it
they're
a
really
bit
good.
more realistic.
Yeah, because like you said, well, the next line says it all.
Now these
But
changes are to encourage diversity in energy networks, and they also will evolve, thus change, based on feedback and community interactions.
mm,
We will be closely monitoring over the coming weeks to ensure the best gameplay experience.
that's pretty much it. I like the fact that they've adjusted, like we said, that they make sense that different events should generate or cause different effects on these devices, which they've introduced, which makes it quite nice. So it's about finding, different generators during certain different times, like your, I don't know, wind, I mean, water, is it a water turbine or is it just a water pump?
Water
Water
pump,
wheels.
water wheel.
But no, water wheels generate more power.
The water wheel, the
Yeah,
one you have to periodically unclog, so take
yeah,
all
yeah.
the spot plants out.
But it generates electricity, right? So you
Yeah,
would have like, okay, oh, it's raining. Technically, whilst it's raining, the solar panel should also produce less energy, but that's probably something they'll add in eventually.
well,
But
the whole
kind of
power
stuff.
generation, first there was the generators only, so you
Mm,
had
mm,
to
mm,
use generators. Then came the solar panels, nice during the day, but worthless during the night, because there were no
mhm.
batteries yet. We're talking a long time ago. Along came the water wheels, which also generated during the night. However, you had to, every 3 hours real time, I believe, you had to empty them out. Then came the wind turbines, which is basically a set and forget 24/7 power output generation. So I basically built a couple of massive wind farms for my bases.
Yeah.
But now they kinda debuffed they kinda nerfed the wind turbines because they start taking damage now. So yeah, at least we have the batteries. So solar panels plus batteries, I think, is gonna be the way to go now.
Yeah, but I mean, yet again, the wind turbines still generate constant energy. If you have a good battery bank, it'll obviously keep everything going. You just have to go up there every, what, third or fourth storm, quickly repair things. You'll have to obviously just build an efficient system or get friends to help you to repair them. Or, like we said, eventually they might introduce a new top tier, which would actually be way more expensive than solar panels because, talking about like an advanced thing here, which would then basically be, auto locking and completely cutting off generation during storms, but then preventing the manual, but this is like a ridiculous, like even you said solar panels are expensive.
Oh
So
yeah,
this would be
yeah,
even more expensive than that, basically. So it would be a really much like, okay, well, how much do I hate going up the ladder to go fix it? Is it worth all that much, or can I
true.
just live around
Like
it? That's,
gradually over time, put
yeah.
down more and more and more solar panels. I'm also thinking something I haven't tested yet. Um, like in my open world, I've built a base and next to a tunnel where the river flows through, right?
Hmm.
Can I put wind turbines inside the tunnel and will they function?
That's fair to prevent, or what happens?
Because it
What
is
happens?
sheltered there, so no storm damage in
Yeah,
theory.
but what happens? A wind turbine doesn't allow you to place it indoors, does it?
I don't know. Never tried it out actually.
All right. Yeah. It's not supposed to work, but
So then we need to find yourself a couple of big caves where you could put wind turbines in.
no, just build a box around it.
Also a possibility, yeah.
Just I don't
Do
know. Does
keep
it?
in mind, by the way, if a room is too big, and I've heard like 10 by 10,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, surface-wise,
Mm-hmm.
it's not sheltered inside,
Interesting. So even if it has a roof.
even if it has a roof. In one of my was it? I think it's an Olympus open world where I built this massive base in front of the waterfall, where you can
Uh,
dive off into the river,
I remember, yeah.
and it
Yeah,
takes
yeah.
you a couple of seconds before you reach the bottom.
Uh,
Um, I have a couple of floors there which are
big. Yeah.
quite large surface-wise and are too high, but they are not sheltered.
Interesting. It's worth checking that out, but yet again, it depends on whether or not you could put them indoors. But yeah, that's maybe a check. Let's see what
But yeah,
mission fixtures there were, obviously, as well. Because yeah, I mean, it's pretty much clear, straight cut. Nothing super, unique being
let's see.
fixed or added.
Is this?
So pretty much.
The image is just a normal cave base.
Yeah,
Nothing.
chandelier top of it. It looks pretty cool. Was it a fabricator? I'm guessing. So
It's the foundry actually.
other foundry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right.
This week, a couple of mission fixes. We're also introducing a couple of mission fixes this week. Unintended collateral impacts of the network resource update. For example, the Voyager mission, they increased the power storage requirement. The energy network patch reduced the requirement for this mission from 1 hour to 6 minutes.
Yeah, because of the outputs. Yeah.
It is a bit,
Hmm.
a bit short.
Yeah.
So we increase it to require 1 hour with a generator, but they do allow you now to connect two generators to reduce the time to 30 minutes.
Sounds fair.
Yeah, because 6 minutes,
That's a bit quick. Yet
bit
again,
quick.
there's been a couple of missions where we had to sit around or twiddle our thumbs or go do something or you know hunt around to keep ourselves busy. So that's if we had to do it, somebody else has to do it. In this case, they do give you the
Exactly.
option of getting more resources and then cutting the time in half, which is at least nice.
We had to spend an hour waiting for the
Mm.
thing to charge. If people now go in and do it in 6 minutes, yeah, no.
Mm.
Indeed. The next one, more important, the Vertigo mission. They fixed the laser because it was like not self-powered anymore. But you couldn't connect a power source to it, or at least you could connect, but it didn't work. So basically, the Vertigo mission was broken. You couldn't
Broken.
complete it no more.
Yep, that
They,
sounds like a problem.
yeah, they fixed it now. The network patch, last week's patch, incorrectly added power requirements to the laser. But like I said, it didn't accept any external power, so it was blocking the mission completion. This has now been fixed. And yeah, I've seen multiple complaints about this mission in Discord. I'm glad I fixed it, so people can now
Yeah,
complete the mission again.
yeah, that's a big block. That's basically a blocker. So
It was a blocker indeed. Let's see. A nice energy network. Only 19 million kilojoule power storage though.
uh,
Demand
yeah, that's a lot. That's a
demand
lot.
of
Yeah,
8400 and a supply of 3500. So yeah,
that's gonna
you need
last you
to
some
add a
time. How
couple
many
more.
batteries? How many batteries is that? Jeez Louise.
These are 3 racks.
Is that for 3 racks?
With 4 battery
19
packs in
million.
each. Nah,
But
you only see 3 racks here.
yeah, well, that's the thing. How many do you need to get 19 million? How
3 racks in a bit, because each advanced battery rack stores 6.
19 million storage? That's a lot.
Each advanced battery rack stores 6, so you have 3 racks, 18. And
Oh,
then
okay.
you
So
see to
6
the right of
million.
it, underneath
Okay.
the panel, you see the simple battery rack,
Yeah.
which
No, but it just sounds like a
stores
lot. That's
another
what I'm
million.
saying. Six. It sounds like a lot. I can't. Like I said, I haven't really played around with the energy network at all because I don't have a gaming computer anymore. So
Well,
it's just like it sounds like a big number.
basically you have to divide the 19 million divide by 8400, so you know how much seconds you can run from battery.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But only 19 million storage. I don't know, 20, 30 battery racks.
Oh, okay. So you've got more. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I've been filling up my my battery room a bit. Again, if
Okay.
you had watched the stream, you would have known.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like I said, I already explained myself. So
Next week, brambles. I'm so gonna use those. A new
yeah.
base defense. Next week we'll be adding the new type of base defense, the brambles. They can be grown in crop plots and harvested when fully grown. And once harvested, you can then place them around your base to serve as a natural base defense. The lack of base defense has been a prickly topic, so we are glad to be adding something to the crafting pool. I mean, you have the wooden fortifications and the spikes. They are very good, very
Mm-hmm.
very good. But you have to periodically run around and repair all these spikes. Add brambles in front of them. They grow naturally, so they basically heal themselves, and they're gonna form your first line of defense,
Yeah.
slowing down
Slowing
and
down enemy stuff.
damaging everything before they
Mm.
even reach your. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely gonna plant myself a couple of crop plots with brambles next week, and then harvest them, and then start planting them all around my base.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And yes, I know I have to start making a habit of using the gates instead of just jumping over the wall. But
Yeah. Stop behaving like a normal human being, will you? All right. Good. Sounds good.
anyway, so if you like what we're doing with Icarus, you want to support our continued development, consider purchasing one of the DLCs for a few bucks. It would mean a lot. And then you have as usual, you have the interior decorations pack with the geode lamps and the paintings. Paintings which actually light up in the dark, very nice. Geode lamps, which is a set and forget, no fuel needed, very nice. Industrial furniture pack with the brutalist and the industrial furniture. I wonder, by the way, whether or not they fixed the industrial bookshelf already, because it had a closed collision box, so you couldn't put anything in it. and the Art Deco furniture pack, the nice fancy golden one. This together forms the architecture bundle, 10% off, $30 and a bit, 31. And also the complete the set for Icarus, which basically has everything: the base game, the sticks expansion, the New Frontiers expansion, Prometheus, all the outposts, everything together for €139, 10% off right now, so 125. And yeah, it's
I mean, the only thing I have to say there is 125 is not a few dollars. It's quite a large sum of money, but
true.
what they're referring to is obviously, if you feel like it's obviously something that you've enjoyed and something you want to, contribute towards, then obviously you can break it up into small little purchases. Hopefully,
Yeah.
the discount is also applicable on an individual level, or if not, then it's,
Uh,
yet again, it's only a couple of dollars that you would have to spend over time. So
Not
you might
sure
not
it's
get the
on.
discount.
Not sure how much discount
Yeah,
there is on separate items, but
yeah,
if you do it in a bundle, you have the architecture bundle. There is
that's
the
correct.
outpost bundle, which
Hmm.
contains like 6 or so outposts next to the base game and the expansions.
Yeah, but yet again, I think those
So
are still like $60 or 60 euros. So, and like I said, I can't remember the price, but all I remember is that yeah, it's quite more than a few dollars. So
yeah.
when they're referring to if I
Then
hear a
again,
couple of
30
dollars, I'm
bucks.
thinking like, yeah,
30 bucks isn't that much for the architecture bundle, and I
yeah,
believe
true,
the outpost bundle is similar in price.
yeah. I
But
mean,
don't
it
forget,
is a
this
bundle,
complete
but
set, the 125 or the
it's
139er,
everything. I know, yeah, yeah,
without
it's
discount is
everything.
like everything,
Yeah,
including
I know.
architecture bundle, including
Yeah, I know.
the outpost bundles, include everything.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying there's a difference between a few dollars and 125 euros.
True, true,
That's all I'm saying.
true,
But
true.
let's go into the paint log.
So I'm missing one. We have fixes and we have future content.
Oh, there's fixed.
Normally, there's also the new content.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, there's
Like
only
what is
fixed
new
and
this
future
week?
content.
So this week
Oh, yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing new added. They did,
Well,
as they said, they focused on fixing.
yeah, true.
So let's have a look at the fixes. Added the ability to inspect certain devices that do not have
Yeah,
inventories, solar panels, wind turbines.
that's
Add a small boost to speed for wind turbines for any storms other than
yeah.
heat waves and embers. Embers is a volcanic
Hmm.
weather event. Fixed wind turbines not receiving increased speed in desert wind. They now do. Solar panel power generation increased to 6k. Water wheel power generation increased during rainstorms. Renamed duplicate desert storm and scaled desert weather events correctly in the new storm modifier system.
Yeah.
And also reduced the impact of the weather on solar panels, rain, sand and snow weather events, and on generators the heat waves. So
So this
less
means that they
impact.
reduces the impact, which means there
Yeah,
is an impact
there is an
during
impact.
rain and
Yeah, yeah,
snow. Okay, perfect. Yeah, they didn't mention it up there, but there should be an impact, so that's
yeah.
okay. But
Makes
yeah,
sense.
how much? Yeah, yeah,
If the solar panel is covered with sand or with snow, yeah,
yeah.
obviously it's
There
gonna
should be
be generate less power.
true, but exactly the question was how much was it and how much has it been reduced towards? Because realistically, if your solar panel is covered with snow, your generation would be pretty much next to no output. So, yeah,
I
it's
have no idea.
that's just it. It's just the way it is until it melts or until the sand's brushed off or get blown off. But yeah, we'll see.
Let's see, some internal mission notes fixed. Unio typos fixed in multiple prospects. Fixing the fix.
Yeah.
Disabled collision on shadow geofilter filler cube. Okay, thanks. Filled in hole in shadow geo that was causing light shining through.
Having liking your shadows is not a good idea, indeed. Yes.
Yeah, there was a hole in the shadow geo, and that hole actually was causing light to shine through. They plugged a
Mm,
hole basically.
mm, mm, mm.
Removed replication from the nearby deployable actors and moved logic of cache nearby deployables to subclass to avoid logic happening in space. Okay. Nearby deployable actors. This might have to do with how if there's the ash weather event in the volcanic biome, all crafters like slow down. Crafting speed is being slowed down. This can be then counteracted by the device you also use in cave. What's the name? Dehumidifiers.
Yeah, the AC dehumidifier thing is
The dehumidifier. So that might have to do with the nearby deployable and the cache nearby deployable, whatever stuff.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, makes sense. It's one of the only things that we had in the game that affect room stuff. I know they introduced
Airco and dehumidifier here.
Yeah, there's a yeah.
Fix the type in the beehive extractor optional power text. Fix the Prometheus cave ground collision in the blue quad. Fixed geyser rotation on outpost 005. Okay. Fix a typo in the Berserker talent name. Didn't even know there was a typo in there, but okay. Noxious crust and volatile red exotics are now mentioned. Sorry, they do now mention the organic residue cleanser in the tooltip.
And the description, okay.
Noxious crust bauxite has now been renamed to Noxious crust aluminium, to match the in-game name. Yeah, it was called bauxite, but then again, I do know bauxite is where you what you basically the resource to smelt aluminum from. But yeah, to like for Noxious crust iron turns into iron. Noxious crust gold turns into gold. Noxious crust bauxite turns into aluminum. So now they make Noxious crust aluminum turns into aluminum. Okay, well. Total growth speed indicator has now been added to the crop plot inspection UI. Thatch stairs railing directions have been fixed and checked all others to make sure they were also oriented the correct way. Fiber crop collision has been fixed. Fix railing orientation on all floor pieces. Again.
Not noticed, yeah. But apparently this was specifically for Thatch originally, so they just checked everything else. It doesn't mean there was issues with the others, but yeah.
I have no idea what was wrong with the attachment, but then again, I never used them.
Yeah. I didn't even know you could Thatch railing, to be honest, but okay.
Yeah, you can. Let's see. Added water crop plot in-world UI prompt to dirt mounds that have been planted. Okay, so you make a dirt mound, you put seed in, and you can actually water it, and it will now tell you like, hey, you can water it. Replace resource network inspector summary with a visual flow indicator. Should be a bit more clear about where the flows are actually going. Water troughs have been fixed. Water will now show again. Fix the advanced masonry bench not having a water connection, which was accidentally removed in last week's update. They only had to remove it from the tier 2 masonry bench, but they accidentally also removed from the advanced one. This has now been fixed. Killish fracture mission is fixed. The decals are now removed in the grass again. Processor recipe icon bit fixed. Change the ghost logo to the new logo. This might be the one in dedicated server list. You have a couple of logos for dedicated server providers. I think Ghost is one of those.
Logo. Okay.
I reckon.
Could be, yeah.
Fix the case where water networks and electrical networks could be joined.
Yep.
I declare guilty here. Let's put it differently. I tested and confirmed this unknowingly.
You just discovered an undocumented feature.
Exactly. Right, Voyager mission has been fixed. The power storage requirement has been increased, so no longer 6 minutes. The battery rack description has been updated to mention that batteries are already inside the rack. So you
Okay.
craft a rack with batteries. You're not like
Yeah,
craft
fair.
a rack and then place batteries. No, you craft a rack with batteries. It's actually a question I saw passing by on Discord. Like, hey, I craft a battery rack and I had batteries, but I couldn't place them in the rack because the rack
Yeah,
already
for
had
example, yeah,
batteries.
it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
Yep.
I would have actually expected it actually to be a pretty cool system had you actually just had built the rack, which would have cost certain materials, and then you could have reused your batteries, which you built individually, to slot it into the rack kind of thing. That would have been an okay system
Would
and
have
a
been
bit more,
a nice touch if it would
yeah.
be that way. True.
But yeah, it's okay. It's understandable. So this is the description. Cool.
Added ability to turn devices on and off using the Resource Network Inspector window. Expand the device group and click the connector icon. Resource Network Inspection window got stuck, showing the gathering info on clients if
Yeah,
opened twice,
fixed.
etc. They have fixed that. Remove the collisions from the spline pucks.
Yep. Yeah.
Adding on and off switch audio to be played for the new battery behavior.
No, that's a good idea because just interacting with something
Click.
and not hearing anything. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. And if doing something and not getting feedback is a horrible design. So definitely having some form of feedback is a must. So yeah.
Change devices to be able to specify a device flow without requiring a resource network connection. So you can already, it can already tell you like the device
Mm.
flow, which I have no idea what it is yet, because I haven't played yet, without actually having to first hook it up.
Mm. But just one more topic note about the fact that they introduced something which didn't give you the feedback. What was that mission that you and I did where we had to go on the nuke, and that thing gave this amazing sound when you put in or turned it on or activated it or opened the hatch or
Yeah,
something?
isn't it the one where they introduced the
Yeah,
world bosses,
I think it was
the
something like that.
lower
But the
level world
point
bosses?
basically being is that the amount of satisfaction which was generated by the input from the response from the device which was interacted with,
Oh
that
yeah,
generates enjoyment. So
oh
having
yeah.
any device which doesn't give you a satisfying click or a clack or a bzz or a swish or a something, or in that case, a freaking nuclear generator warning siren or something. I can't remember what it was, but I know it was an amazing sound.
I believe
It
it
was just
was a
bad design.
siren that
I don't
mission.
know. It was something. It was like a low echoing something. It was just an amazing, like you don't want to get near that thing kind of. I remember it was a great sound though. That's why it's a good thing. Anyway,
Didn't
no.
we do that mission a couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago
we did.
before you
Yeah, we
left?
did.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we did. That's the one I'm referring to because I
yeah.
was like, damn, that's a cool ass sound. I mean, my graphics card completely hated the area when I looked at the damn thing, but I
Okay.
know the sound was amazing. It
Uh,
said it compensated a ridiculous amount for it. But yeah.
added storage type and flow rates to the tier 2 rain reservoir and a basic oxide dissolver to allow those to store resources again. I hadn't even noticed. I could have noticed the tier 2 rain reservoir thingy, but the basic oxide dissolver,
Yeah, we
I'm
haven't used
running
those. And,
the tier 3 one for a
mm,
while already in my open world, so.
mm.
And I'm still waiting for a tier 4 one powered by electricity instead of biofuel. Because now every so often I have to swap the biofuel container there. Usually when my O2 tank is halfway filling, then biofuel runs out, and then I come back to the thing and I'm like, why is my oxygen container not filled? And oh yeah, okay,
Yeah, okay.
there's something different. Right, adding visible debuffs on fridges, deep freeze, lights, cooler heater, dehumidifiers, and also adjusted modified display and application rate. So if it has the debuff because it doesn't get enough power, when looking at it you can already see when hovering over it. Good. So you don't have to open your network inspector thingy to see like, hey, it's not not getting enough power. It's not actually showing you like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have enough power. By the way, I prioritize my deep freezers and aquaria. They should
Yeah,
always get full power.
sure.
Added assign priority button prompt to the network inspection screen. There was already a way of assigning priority there. No, button prompt.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was a toggle.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you sure you want to prioritize this thing? I clicked it for a reason, didn't I? I'm assuming it's like
I
maybe a
don't know. Well,
confirmation.
it was a
Oh.
checkbox. Like you click the checkbox, you tick the checkbox like this one must be prioritized. Maybe it has a prioritize button. No.
Yeah, it could be. Unless they're doing a Microsoft, which is, are you sure that you're sure that this thing that you've done is the thing that you intended to do?
Are you sure you want to prioritize? Yes. Are you really sure? Yes. Are you really sure? Yes. Do you definitely want to confirm this?
No,
Yes.
no,
Okay,
no,
now we're
no,
gonna.
no,
I don't know,
no.
maybe.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
And they fix the shaggy zebra AI growth. As a result, these shaggy zebras will be much easier to hunt. They
I'm assuming they didn't.
they aren't the easiest ones to kill because they run away pretty quick.
Yeah, true, but I'm
They're
assuming that
fast.
they're juveniles didn't grow up, so therefore you couldn't find the adults. I'm assuming, which is, I don't know if they
Well,
spawned that way,
the
but yeah.
juveniles aren't in game yet.
Yeah, well, it's, I don't know, I just, yeah,
They
yeah.
are gonna be because the shaggy zebra, or actually the
Mm,
woolly zebra,
mm,
is gonna be the new mount. But
mm.
anyway,
Twitch content time.
yeah, our favorite part, hey?
Mm-hmm. Speculation time. This is what I do good.
Yep. So we already knew there was gonna be wool in, so it doesn't come as a surprise that we're gonna get the sheep shears.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
is interesting and new is the chicken coops.
Yeah, no, we already knew there was chickens
Yeah,
and
but apparently
eggs.
we're gonna get chicken coops as well.
Well, that makes sense realistically. You don't want your chickens to just run around like freaking things about laying eggs all over the place. You would want to have something where to sort of collect the eggs from. So
True, true.
makes sense. You know, they would assume to be like an anchoring point for them. So that makes sense.
Yeah, so no running through your entire
Yeah.
pen to try and collect the eggs, but
Yeah.
just go up to the coop and say collect the eggs.
And I see they're adding the check shotgun audio data, blah blah blah. So it's moving towards, you know, bringing in the
Bring in
not
the
the foundry,
shotgun.
the yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Excellent story mission, by the way. Increase the range. Cool. Gonna be a longer
Yeah.
mission. And added
Hmm.
starting quest area. Yes. I wonder where we will have to start in to start this S-Line story mission day.
Mm. No, it's I have no idea. I would imagine you guys probably have the best idea of where there would be like a discovering event or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be, as far as I can see, it's gonna be open up by quests,
Hmm.
kind of like the shortcuts in Styx.
Yeah, so they're still working on the well, yeah, definitely, yeah. But that's the thing yeah, exactly like the shortcuts thing. But
Yeah,
then something will be triggered somewhere, and that'll send you at the beginning point. So you guys will have to see
yeah,
and
I don't know,
find
or it is travel to
like.
this location and then
Mm.
go from there.
Yeah, I mean that's also true. Yeah, I mean there are these certain games which exist to the point where it isn't like a documented thing. That's something you would have to explore to find the trigger, and then you'd be able to go about it. But those types of games, like MMOs, certain events would only be triggered by communities doing things. You can't really
Yeah,
have that
but
in a single player game like this. So yeah, it's.
nah, this I don't think this is gonna
Yeah.
be like that. I think this is
Mm,
go to the mission board, say start a mission, and then it says
mm,
go travel to this end of the map, current
mm-hmm,
map, and then continue from
mm-hmm.
there. I reckon it's gonna be
Yeah,
something like that.
pretty much. It seems like they're playing with the duration, with the effectiveness of the furniture stuff, which is all good. Trying to bring
Yeah,
some
like
usefulness of the decoratives, yeah.
like Valheim. Valheim-esque.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I said, yeah, it's pretty much. I like that. You know,
Yeah,
it gives you, like I said, I like the decorations, especially like your blue room, the one of the whatever the ice and the polar
yeah.
bear and the concrete stuff. I like
It's
it a lot.
the
And yet
brutalist
again,
one.
the cottage stuff is also cool, and
Yeah.
all those things are really cool.
But
So
yeah, it means decorations are gonna become functional.
yeah, exactly, which is good.
So a couple of visages, trophies, sorry, a couple of paintings, things like that.
Animal companion,
Indeed, I was looking at that as well.
companion. I like the word companion.
So way back we were speculating like, hey, like before mounts even,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
hey, can you tame wolves and you have a wolf pack
exactly.
follow
Yeah,
you around and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I remember that, and that's why I like this because basically, yeah. Little companion is pretty cool. And you know, certain
Oh
people
yeah.
might be like, "Oh, it's a pony, it's adorable," and I think it's a small horse. Ignore it. But you know, it's a wolf.
Yeah,
Yes, it's a dog. It's a dog. I want a dog. Yes, thank you. I'll have a dog.
have a pack of wolves follow you around, attacking your enemies. A couple of bears,
Uh,
something like that.
uh, oh, that's going to lead to heartbreak because your dog is going to get smacked by a bear, and that tells you you should know who's going
Uh,
to win that fight.
you have
So,
to train both the bear and the wolf that they don't attack one another, but only
uh,
wild animals, so to say.
it'll be pretty cool if they. Oh wait, there are bear cubs on. There are bear
Yeah, yeah.
cubs. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
Only during the geezer
it'll be cute if you could raise a
and
bear cub though.
certain missions. Yeah.
It'll be pretty cool if you could raise like a bear cub, but then after at some time you have a pet bear. That would be pretty cool. Okay, yes,
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Howl
Uh,
events, interesting. Yeah, so there's alpha wolf
Mains wolf
and mange
and
wolf. Yeah,
mains alpha wolf,
yeah,
separating animations and
yeah,
montages, so unique sounds can be used for
yeah.
both. So they're gonna sound differently,
Yeah, more ammo, shotgun
and your
sound
sounds for
stuffs.
it. Yeah, yeah.
Prometheus field guides for polar bears.
Yeah,
Some
apparently they
random.
weren't in the Prometheus section of
Mm.
the. Well, it's a field guide. It's not the bestiary.
I like the
Yeah.
next one. It's like burlaps for heated royal snow leopard and wolf animal beds. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty
so
cool.
new type of bed.
Yeah, it's probably tying into the furniture buff where they want longer rest bonuses and better,
I don't know.
stronger best bonuses.
Will they still compare to the Art Deco then? Because the Art Deco bed currently is
Yeah,
the best bed in
only
game.
one. Yeah, yeah, true. It's you see, yeah, it's I can't comment. So
No?
I'll just say
Or
it'll look cool. Let's just say it's
or
different
is it
skin
like
texture.
an Art
Different skin
Deco
texture. Yeah,
bed
yeah.
with for example a wolf blanket over it or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. If it's just a skin, that'll be pretty cool as well. It would
Yeah.
just tie in so you have like a different looking bed rather than this bed that just stands out and looks like this purple bed in this wolf room. No, it doesn't. Or you know, like a it's like having a modern bed in a wood cabin. You know, it's just not there. You're supposed to have animal pelts and all those types of stuff,
Yeah.
which are pretty cool. Which are sickle
Let's
changes or some sort of sickle
Yeah, the
things.
Shandgong sickle,
Yeah,
the space
yeah,
sickle. Apparently we
yeah,
get two variations.
yeah.
Okay, interesting. Um, and wolf,
Deep
yeah, more
bones.
the animal bed
Yeah, no.
stuff.
I'm still the
Main
turret
wolf.
audio stuff is still things because they mentioned, oh, they're finally bringing defense things out, but they are working on the backs of, you know, for more turrets and defense
Auto
items.
turrets. Yeah.
Yeah, auto turrets. So it does mean that at a certain point, you know, there might be, you know, because good again, you guys have done the freaking geezer freaking missions with the freaking waves of bears and wolves and alpha things coming towards you, and
Oh yeah.
you know, it's quite an onslaught. So, you know, if you have a big base, you know, and you want to defend it, eventually there might be like, you know, Icarus or, you know, Olympus or Prometheus deciding, hey, we're just gonna, it's like, you know, what's with Avatar, where they're like, we want you off our planet, ascend in the cavalry, and then you're just like, okay, well, you know,
Yeah.
mow them down with autocannon fire. So, yeah, might be something to that effect.
Yeah, and then have them shoot explosive bullets or explosive shotgun shells.
Little mini grenades, basically.
Oh man,
Grenade
there's gonna
launchers, yeah.
be a lot of explosions then.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
pretty
Shandgong
much
circle indeed.
Cribbo
Setup
max level.
Skullmat scaling and creature AI setup.
Know what that means.
Much
Sizing or something?
is
Yeah.
sheep-ish, but Skullmat.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know.
don't know. Yeah.
And the
But
Dripper,
it's.
Dripper was actually mentioned last week, I believe,
I
right?
think that's the Kiwi, isn't it? Is it the name for the Kiwi thing?
I don't
'Cause it
know.
sounds like it. A Dribbo sounds like the big, the thing that she trolled Echo about the size of the
Yeah, I really
Kiwi.
think she
Yeah.
believed it indeed, yeah.
Yeah. So yet again, I still say it should be. If you're freaking walking in the forest and you see a freaking 5 meter tall freaking Kiwi bird running towards you, I would turn
Uh,
around and run the hell away. So I'm just saying
I,
that's
w-
what
I,
would
w- I
happen.
would take I would take a step sideways, like
I mean, just
make
seeing
way.
it, and it's like you see something move in like the distance stream. Like, what is that? What is that? Is it a mammoth? What is this? It's a Kiwi. Okay, all right.
Uh,
And
the
then
mange
rest,
wolf,
sleep
the,
animations.
the
Yeah,
snore audio.
no, that's pretty cute. Yeah.
Yeah. Ice mammoth boss. Cool.
Uh, okay. Changing the AI, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Sheep shares, blah blah blah, and
Shingakus.
death audio events for the sheep. I'm assuming it's a more despairing bleat. So the
Committing
sheep's
to
bleat,
trunk
right? Yeah.
to be added when mount leveling is merged. We haven't heard about that in a while. Mounts are gonna get their own levels, their own uh,
Oh
their
yeah,
own
yeah,
skill
yeah,
tree,
yeah, 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 yeah.
talent tree. So yeah,
I still want to be able to catch because you would want to try and see. Well, I don't know if because there was exotic infused animals, but I'm not sure if you could get an exotic infused juvenile, which you could then grow into an adult, which you could then
well,
tame and have a little bit higher stats, almost like certain games out there.
I
So,
have to say the exotic infused animals they looked ugly, very
oh, is
ugly.
it? Oh,
They accidentally didn't devlog them,
oh,
so
is it?
they were accidentally on the experimental branch, and I've seen those animals and they look very ugly.
I want not ugly. I want majestically beautiful, shiny
No,
albino versions.
unfortunate, unfortunate.
Okay.
No, they're
All right.
ugly.
Okay, so they have like two jaws which part, and then you have like a massive
No, it's like
vampire.
chunks of exotics sticking out of them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not cool.
No,
I want
it wasn't.
shiny looking, stronger, nicer. It's
Alas,
like yeah, okay. All right, well that's
unfortunately
pretty
not
much
gonna
it.
be there. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much just fixes like you mentioned, and small fine tunings and balancing of the weather events in comparison to what they affect your generators and your water pump systems. So yeah, it sounds like a good effect change or
No.
patch.
So a couple of things to test, like the growth speed indicator on the crop plots, things like that. Check the new network inspection stuff,
Indeed, yes.
and see what weather events are gonna do with my wind turbines.
Yeah, just check the damage like now and just confirm before there's anything that they're still pretty much like maxed because I'm pretty sure nothing else should have damaged them in the past because lightning wouldn't have struck them and
And
they don't take any.
lightning striking the wind turbines is going to be an interesting one as well. That would mean we are going to need, if they're going to introduce that, we're going to need some lightning rods.
Well,
Unfortunate, the lightning rods is a one-time use only. It gets struck by lightning and it gets destroyed.
well, the one thing that could be worse is if you actually had, your batteries farm getting blown up as well.
It's
Because,
yeah.
yeah, if you get hit by a lightning bolt, your batteries aren't going to thank you for it.
Well, if lightning, yeah, you mean you have no surge protection? Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
I mean, yeah, if you have a fuse, but good
Well,
luck
they're
having.
advanced battery racks, and look at the capacitors on the thing.
Yeah, I'm assuming there is something
So
in there. Yeah,
they should be having some form of surge protection there.
yeah, true, true, true.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me, and I would like to stick around for the video, but yeah. I'm gonna insert excuse over here and start watching the stream perhaps, but I'm pretty not exhausted, I would say, but pretty tired. So don't know if
Well,
I'll be able to watch. So
they will be delivering the shops, the groceries in about 8.5 hours, so I'm not gonna play that long.
yeah,
But
it's
I'm gonna take a quick break and hopefully I can get into my DS straight away this time. It doesn't take me another 30 minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna take a short break and then I'm gonna be back for some gameplay. So by all means, stick around.
cool. But yeah,
And then I'm gonna do my outro now.
perfect. All right.
So, these were the patch notes. Like I said, I'm gonna take a quick break, 5-10 minutes, and then I will be back with subsequent gameplay. Like I said, test out the growth speed indicators, the new network inspection stuff, make sure the water troughs indeed do show the water again, stuff like that. And do some some generic gameplay, like I don't know, an hour or so. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the patch notes. We do it every week, Friday, 21:30 GMT. So if you wanna follow it again, you know, next time we do it again. Uh, Other than that, thank you for being here, and I will see you folks around.